Right, lesson 6.1, guys, we are using substitution and trial and error to approximate solutions to equations. So in this case, Zara has decided to use trial and error to find the solution to s times the quantity of s plus 2. And we know with order of operations, we'll do the s plus 2 first, and then take it times s. And we want to get close to 43. And one of our problem-solving strategies for algebra is to use trial and error and see if we can get close to the answer. And sometimes you can solve that way when numbers get along well. Okay, so she's going to substitute 6 for s. All right, so when I do that, we got to get used to writing that in. So wherever we have an s, we substitute 6. So it's 6 times the quantity, 6 plus 2 must equal 43 is what we're trying to get to. So if we do this and follow order of operations, 6 plus 2 is 8. And that leaves me with 6 times 8, which is 48. Okay, and that does not equal 43. It's too big, which tells me 6 is too big. So that's why she decided to try 5.5 next. So explain why 5.5 is a reasonable choice. Simple way to do this is because 6 was too big. Some of you might go down and maybe you try 5 next, maybe, and if you plug 5 in there, you would find out that that's too small. So she just decided, let's try 5.5 or 5.5. And that's what she's going to try next. Okay, so again, we'll make sure we have this written down. We'll go down and we'll keep experimenting and see how close we can get to what s should be to make this true. So if we scroll down here to the chart, we want to find a number that is close to what s should be. So if I plug in, first of all, we know in our chart here, helps keep us organized, we have to do s plus 2 first. So if s is 5.5, I'd plug a 5.5 in here. It'd be 5.5 plus 2. So that would get me 7.5. And then my job would then be to take 7.5, which was s plus 2. Now take that times s, which was 5.5. Again, if I plug it in, you can see I'm just following that formula. I add 2, get an answer, take it times s. So if I do 5.5 times 7.5, you guys can use a calculator. You'll get 41.25. And I want to compare that to 43, and right now I know that number is too small. It's less than 43. This 41.25 is less than 43. So that means I need to guess higher. So maybe I would try 5.6. I'm getting closer. If I add 2 to it, I'm not going to plug it in every time. We have that pattern written down here, so I add 2. So 5.6 plus 2 is 7.6. And now I would take 7.6 times 5.6. And I'm going to write a little multiplication symbol in here to remind me once I get these, I just multiply them because that takes care of the equation. And if I do that, I'll get 42.56, which is still less than 43. So I need to go larger again. All right, I'm getting close though. I'm 42, a little over 42.5, so I'm getting closer. I could try, I could go all the way to 5.7, but let's try a little different. Let's go out to the hundreds. We know we're getting closer. Let's go 5.65. So if I add 2 to that, I get 7.65. And I know I need to multiply those two together, and if I do that, I'll get 43.22. So now I'm too big. Okay, this is actually greater than 43, so my guess is too big. So I'm going to go ahead and guess a little bit lower. Let's go 5.62 maybe. So if I add 2 to it, I'll get 7.62. And multiply that times 5.62. Again, you guys will have calculators when you're figuring these out, or can use the calculators on your computer. And if I do that, I'll get 42.82. And again, I am less again. So I know that's too small, so I'm going to have to guess a little bit higher. 5.65 was too big, so let's try 5.63, since 5.62 was too small. If I add 2, I'll get 7.63. And if I multiply those two together, following my equation here, I'll get 42.95, which is still less than 43. But notice how I've got progressively closer. and 42.95, I'm only 5/10 away. I could keep going and maybe, do 5.633 or something close to that, and we could keep guessing forever. I might not get exactly there. I might be able to get it. We'll find other ways to solve where we don't have to do this trial and error eventually. But right now, it talks about what is my closest number down there. My closest number is 5.63. 5.63 of the ones that I did. 5.63 is the closest. Very, very close to 43 there, only 500ths away. So again, trial and errors, yours can be a little bit different than that, but this is a pretty close estimate. And practicing using that trial and error, which is a good strategy to use to make sure my answer makes sense and to give me a starting point thinking about how large my answer should be.